What's up, everyone? I'm having some technical difficulties, but we're just gonna jump right into it. It's Diana Morgan here. We're just gonna go through this quickly. Hopefully it doesn't stop recording again. So, question arises. First question, the most important question, who are you? I'm gonna play as a woman. I'm gonna play as an elf. They have different personalities as well. I'm gonna go with this face 2. Looks perfect. And then the name shall be Zenolia. There we go. Hopefully this is still recording. There we go. Okay, good. Soon your story will begin. And then we got Blades of Light and Shadow. Raid Shadow Legends. The Elven King Zeus stands on the parapet of a great citadel overlooking a massive, smoldering battlefield. Archers, fire on my signal. Catapults, hold for the next wave. He turns to give an order when a hideous creature, a gargoyle made of twisting shadow, swoops in toward him. Zeus reaches for his sword as a blast of light catches the gargoyle in the side, blowing it into nothingness. Zeus turns to see his second in command, the battle mage Alara. Looked like you could use a hand, my love. Looked like you could use a hand, my love. I had it covered. What's the status on the front? The shadow forces are many, but they're weak. Our front line is driving them back. I can't believe it. But we might actually win this. She's cut off by a thunderous boom, by a darkness blotting out the sun. She and Zeus turn to stare, their hearts sinking. Damn, son. Gods above. It's the Dreadlord. The madmen have actually summoned the Dreadlord. Alara reaches out, grabbing oh my god. Grabbing Zeus' hand. My love. What do we do? Zeus turns to her, eyes sparkling, his face hard and stoic. We fight. We die. And we pray that someday a hero will rise to avenge us. Someday. Damn, 2,000 years later. I see. So we're in Riverbend, then. Interesting. The adventure begins in a quaint little tavern in the town of Riverbend. So what happened next? The Dreadlords strode down the battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. And then... We've been hearing this story for years, Cade. The Dreadlord attacked and destroyed the great Elven Empire. Well, yeah, that's the short version. But you don't have the flair. You don't have half the flair for storytelling than I do. You grin and lean back in your seat. You've been sitting at your usual spot in the Dancing Pig Tavern, listening to Cade tell another one of his stories. About 20 years ago, you and Cade were the only survivors of a massacre just outside the city. You were adopted by a kindly farmer and raised as siblings. He's also your best friend and well known throughout Riverbend, but not everyone is as amused by him as you are. I don't care how well he tells his tales. He still has to pay for his ale. Barkeep, you wound me. Come on, barkeep. A story's worth a drink. Then the butcher and the baker and the damn tax collector come by asking. When the butcher and baker and the damn tax collector comes by asking for stories, maybe I'll consider it. Till then, you're paying in coin. He does have a good point, Cade. With a weary sigh, Cade slaps a few coins onto the bar, then downs the rest of his ale. Grinning, you step around him and head out into the street. You and Cade step out into the wide town square of your humble village of Riverbend. You take a deep breath of the cool night air. The smells of hay and smoke wash over you. Voices chatter from taverns while farmers head home for the evening. You sigh at the familiarity of it all. Another night in Riverbend, same as any other. That's not true. Some nights I manage to get us that free ale. You shove him playfully, unable to bite back a smile. You know what? But before you can finish the sentence, you bump into a tall man heading out of the village. Oof! Hey, watch it! You stagger back, sizing him up. Who are you? None of your business, that's who. Two people. Oh my god, I did not mean to do that. This here's Mal Valeri from White Tower. He's a world-famous adventurer. Wait, really? Well, I wouldn't say world-famous. Really more continent famous, if I'm being honest. Well, you don't look like a famous adventurer. Oh yeah? What do you think a famous adventurer looks like? I don't know. Where's your fancy gold armor? Or your giant sword and belt full of magical relics? Look here. Real life's not some fairy tale. It's a lot meaner and nastier. Gold armor? That'd weigh me down. Magic relics? I don't mess with them. And why would I need a giant sword? In a flash, he twirls out a dagger. It tips an inch from your eye. When I've got this. Whoa. Now, if you don't mind, we've got some important business to get to. Adventure business? Around here? Mal's got a lead on a powerful ancient artifact in the Elven ruins to the south. If we can get it, it'll sell a fortune. Damn the gods, Gren. Keep it down. You want everyone in this town to hear about it? You mean to the north, right? There's no ruins to the south. Mal shoots Angus a glare, and Angus shrugs. Yes, to the north. That's what she meant. Hang on. There's a powerful ancient relic somewhere around here? And you're going on an expedition to get it? I got a tip, okay? A good one. From someone willing to pay a whole lot of gold. Angus and Gren here, they're going to help me claim it. Now, if you don't mind... Wait. We'd like to come along. Zenolia! What? It's a chance of a lifetime. Mal sighs you up and down and lets out a weary sigh. No can do. This is dangerous ancient crypt business. I can't have some rookie along bumbling things up. I'm not a rookie. Oh, really? Have you pried a jewel from the hands of cursed skeleton, knowing one wrong move would bring the whole room down on your head? I mean, not technically. Ever stabbed a snarling croctopus through the eye on the deck of a burning ship? I don't know what that is. How about this? You ever kill a man? You ever killed a man? You ever been in a real fight? No. That's what I thought. I like your hustle, I do. But I don't have time for some kit who's still wet behind the ears. Kit? It's a term for new adventurers, you know, like an apprentice. See, you don't even know the terms, which means you've got a long way to go. Get out there, have some adventures of your own, learn some skills, then come find me. We'll talk. Mal walks off to the town gate while Gren and Angus laugh. You stand there quietly fuming. Well, that was the thing that happened. He's wrong. I could have done it. I'm twice the adventurer Gren is, and Angus is an old drunk who can barely stay on his feet half the time. Learn some skills. I've got plenty of skills. I've already got plenty of skills. Like, what? Choose your first skill. Skills will help you conquer challenges, befriend allies, and unlock special scenes. Choose wisely. I see. First, pick a combat skill. Blades, brawling, bows. Let's go with blades. Okay. Choose a diplomacy skill. Alright. Charisma, seduction, deception. Ooh, interesting. Let's go with seduction. No, let's go with... No. Yeah. Let's go with seduction. Okay. More skills can be unlocked by earning XP, which you'll get by making correct choices, defeating enemies, and passing skill checks. Okay. See, I've got skills. I'm not useless. That mall guy really got under your skin, didn't he? I don't know. I suppose I'm mostly jealous. Just jealous. I want to go on great adventures and find ancient relics. And get famously rich. That too. Don't be hard on Riverbend. This town's been good to us. Not every human village would take in a pair of orphans abandoned on the roadside. I know, Cade. It'll always be my home. I just want to experience something more. And it's great that... And it's not like a great adventure is going to drop itself into my lap. Cade regards you for a moment, then claps a hand to your shoulder. At the end of the day, you can always trust him to have your back. Well, don't worry. Don't you worry, sister. We'll experience it all together. Okay. Kate has joined your party. Okay. What? But for now, all we've got is Riverbend. So where you want to start tonight? Let's talk to the blacksmith. Now you're speaking my language. You and Cade headed to the blacksmith's shop. Inside, a burly woman hammers out a blade, the metal glowing orange and sending up sparks. Well, well, come to admire my work again? Is it odd that I'm just looking at your swords? A little, but I'll take it as a compliment. Some choices will require you to have a skill to choose them. These unlock special scenes and often award XP. I will check out the swords. You pick up a recently forged sword, its blade catching the light of the flames, and test it out. Ooh, this one's nice. Great balance, a solid hilt. You practice a few forms, cutting through the air and dancing around imagined foes. Good techniques, Zenolia. You've been practicing. You can tell? You'll make a fine warrior yet. Hey, we got some XP. You just earned some XP. You'll get XP by making the right choices and passing skill checks. You earn enough XP to level up and choose new skills. Thanks. Were you a soldier, man? I fought for His Majesty Arlen on the fields of Augustine. Did you kill anyone? You clap a hand to your forehead. The blacksmith shoots Cade a dark look and says nothing. Alright then, fine. Alright then, fun times. We're just gonna go now. You'd best do that. You and Cade hurry back to the town as quickly as you can. You see, Riverbend isn't so bad. They've taken good care of us. You're right. I just wish a shout from the town gates cuts you off. Help! Please help! A young woman in priestess's robe sprints into the town square. She crashes into you, grabbing your arms to keep herself from falling. Oh, hi, Zendaya. No, you need to help me, please. Whoa there. Wow, you're pretty. Momentarily flustered, she lets go of you and stammers over a reply. Thank you. Zenolia? Is now really the time? No, it is not. A life is in danger. We're running out of time. Slow down. What's going on here? I am Nia Ilarius, a priestess of the light. My mentor and I are on a pilgrimage, but we were attacked by an owlbear on the road. I managed to escape while he distracted the beast, but he needs help now. Have no fear, young priestess. We're brave adventurers. Really? Shh! Don't mess this up. Thank you so much. Please, come here now. Come now. He's just down the road. You shoot Cade a hesitant glance as you take off, running after Nia, grabbing your sword along the way. Interesting. Let's go. You sprint through the woods after Nia, your heart racing as a shriek cuts through the night. Remember, Zenolia, owl bears are carnivorous beasts with great strength and limited intellect. They fear fire and are easily startled. Down a hill, a vicious owlbear circles an older man trapped on a boulder. Stay back, please. The old man waves his staff at the owlbear. Unfazed, the bear rises on its hind legs, its beak upon oh my god, I can't read. Open wide in another piercing screech. Gah! I can't. Cade, Nia, stand back. The beast's distracted. I've got this. I will hurl my dagger. You unsheath your trusty dagger, take aim, and hurl it at the beast. Take this! The blade sinks deep into the owl's thick haunch. I've got more blades where that came from. With a howl of pain, the owlbear lurches away from the old man on the boulder, and pins you with its yellow-eyed glare. Oh my gosh, this... I'm telling you, it's filled with the tongue twisters. It screams in fury. Grah! With your heightened elven senses, you see its thick muscles tighten a split second before it strikes. You dodge out of the way just in time. We leveled up! Interesting. So wait, Beastmaster, Woods Lore, or Medicine? Huh? Let's be a Beastmaster? Okay. So that's our layout right now. Yes! 2 points Zenolia, 0 points Owlbear. Thrown off balance, the owlbear crashes into a tree and staggers back, shaking its massive head. Quah! It's hurt badly and furious. It turns back toward you, pawing the ground. Watch out! It's going to charge! I will show it means no harm. You hold up your empty hands and lock eyes with the owlbear. Beyond its fury, you sense distress. Quah! Zenolia, what are you doing? I think we're threatening its territory. You take a step back, still holding the owlbear's attention. I'm showing it we aren't a threat. The owlbear huffs and paws at the ground, but its muscles have relaxed. It nods at you, grudging, and stalks off into the forest. Nothing to it. Yeah, we oughta, oh my god, get out of here, owlbear, and don't show your beaky face ever again. You fought it off. Zenolia, that was amazing. Nia starts to throw her arms around you, but stops herself and backs away, embarrassed. She fiddles with a lock of hair. I I'm very grateful for your service. My pleasure. If I had it my way, fighting off owlbears would be part of an average day's work. Behind Nia, the old man climbs down from the boulder and approaches. You get a good look at him for the first time. Oh, interesting. Thank you, kind stranger. I would have been a goner without your help. Mister, it was really no trouble. Nia smiles at you, her gaze filled with wonder. Maybe for you it wasn't, but we didn't stand a chance on our own. We're in your debt. The light blesses those who help travelers in need. It will shine upon you too. It's not a sack coin, but I'll take it. The man sweeps into a deep bow before you. I'm Scholar Vash Valerin, High Priest of the Night. I see you've met my apprentice, Nia. I'm sorry, Scholar. I tried to use the light to ward off the owlbear, but the magic wasn't powerful enough. No need to apologize, my child. You are still a novice, and have never had to use battle magic in a real scenario. You did what you could. Whoa, hold on. You can use magic? I've never met a mage before. One day, Nia will be a great priestess, healing the sick, protecting the weak, holding at bay the darkness of the world. For now, though, she's still training. We're on a pilgrimage to visit all of the temples of the light throughout the kingdom. Is there one in your village, perhaps? Not since we've lived here. I don't think anyone follows that faith anymore. There might be one person. That lady who lives in the cave by the river? No, she worships the great beetle, remember? What a shame. The decline of the faithful. In any case, we're seeking the Temple of Alara, which is supposed to be right around here. Temple of Alara? That old ruin? I think I haven't been there myself, but it's about a day's walk from the town. Oh, that's most wonderful news. Nia, we must journey at once. But are you sure it's safe? What if we encounter another owlbear, or worse? Fortunately, the light has blessed us with these fine strapping adventurers to protect us. We can't offer you much, but if you accompany us to the temple and fend off any other mishaps, I could pay you 30 gold. 30 gold? Can you give us a moment to talk it over? You pull Cade out of earshot. He looks anxiously back at Nia and Vash. I don't know. Scaring off one owlbear is fine, but there's no telling what's out by those ruins. Come on, it's just an old temple. And I'm sure there's a ton of useful knowledge in that head of yours. I do know a lot about ancient temples. Besides, we could really use the adventure. If this works out, we could accompany them on the rest of their journey. We could see the world outside Riverbend's walls. Nowhere too far, of course. But if it turns out we're good at this adventuring thing, who knows where it might lead? To our early graves? You're such a pessimist. And I know you want to see the temple from your stories. Look, let's just take them to the temple and head back after, okay? We'll be 30 gold richer, and you'll have a great new story to tell at the tavern. Cade shakes his head in defeat, a grin spreading across his face. Fine. I can't deny an adventure that fell right into your lap. Or I can't deny you an adventure that fell right into your lap. Yes, that's the spirit. An arm around Cade's shoulder, you return to Nia and Scholar Vash, who have started setting up camp for the night. We're in. We can take you to the Alara Temple ruins, then bring you back to Riverbend. Oh, that's wonderful news. Indeed. Thank you, kind strangers. Please, I'm Zenolia, and this is my brother Cade. And don't worry, if he starts talking your ear off, I'll just clobber him over the head. I feel so much better having protection, especially from such a perceptive elf as you yourself. Nia has joined the party. I see. It's too dark to keep traveling tonight. We'll camp here and continue on in the morning. Though I must admit, I'm not much for setting up camp. Let's do some flirting. Flirt with Nia. You sidle a little closer to Nia, your arm brushing against hers. Well, I'm not an expert at making a camp either, but it might not be the worst situation to be stuck in. Oh? I'm just saying, you and me, together under the beautiful sky, there are other ways we could stay warm. Oh, I mean that. As she stammers, you take off your coat and tuck it around her shoulders. You can borrow my coat, I mean. I just mean you. She glances down, embarrassed, but pulls your coat more snugly around herself, burrowing her chin into its warmth. You shoot Cade a wink. He rolls his eyes and gives you a feeble thumbs up. Everyone settles in for the night. Scholar Vash disappears into his tent, and moments later, loud snoring rattles its canvas walls. I guess one of us will sleep well tonight, even if it keeps the rest of us awake. You're one to talk. When you snore, it's like the rumbling of a swamp hippo. Come on, Zenolia, not in front of the priestess. It's fine. I think swamp hippos are adorable. Not helping, but maybe counting swamp hippos will help me fall asleep. Wish me luck, you two. With a wave, Cade heads to your shared tent, but Nia doesn't move. She stares into the flames, a frown creasing her face as she rubs at her wrist.
Everything okay? It's not a big deal, but I lost a bracelet of mine when the owlbear attacked. Oh, something sentimental? Sentimental and practical. It's made of light crystals, ones that strengthen my magic. Without it, well, I'm a little weaker. And I'm worried I'll need all the strength I can muster for the journey ahead. I suppose I could offer to help her go back and find it. This is a chance for a side quest. Side quests will help you deepen your relationship with your partner members and collect gear and treasure to help on adventure. In this case, you can help Nia recover the powerful bracelet and see what her magic is like in person. I see. Well, this is exactly why I saved up money. So let's do it. Come on, let's go find that bracelet of yours before another owlbear picks it up. Are you sure we'll be safe? You can count on my blade, and the rest of me too. Well, alright then, if you're sure. While Vash and Cade snore, you and Nia head out, strolling back the way you came. So, how do you like our little part of the world? It's very different from what I'm used to, but I suppose most places are. This is the furthest I've ever been from home, you know? Did you grow up around here? Yeah. Cade and me have spent our whole lives here. How about you? I've lived in the city of White Tower all my life. The capital? Yes, that's the one. That's amazing. I've always wanted to see White Tower. The beautiful spires, the king's castle, and the shops and museums. You trail off when you realize Nia doesn't seem to share your enthusiasm. She keeps her eyes on the ground, her voice far away. I never saw much of that. The Temple of Light adopted me as a baby, and that's where I spent most of my life. I only left to perform services with the other priests, delivering alms to the poor and healing the sick. So the pilgrimage you're on now is a big deal. You're seeing the world for the first time. Yes, I'm thrilled to be ascending to priestess, but there's clearly so much more to the world than I have ever imagined. The world can be beautiful. Nia glances at you. When your eyes meet hers, she quickly ducks her head once more. It certainly has been so far. What I wouldn't give to see the cliffs of Colaris, or the flotilla, or the spires of White Tower. Oh, you have to come to White Tower someday. So many people from all over the realms bustling through the beautiful streets. At least that's what I've heard. If you visit, I'll have an excuse to leave the temple and see it all with you. I'd like that very much. Nia turns to you thoughtfully, before stumbling back, pulling you with her. Wait, Zenolia, look! Nia points to a small grove by a pond. Something bright and shiny sparkles on the ground, surrounded by a dozen frilled lizard-like creatures. Cromp? Ugh, cromps! I've never heard of them. Why are they called cromp, cromp, cromp? Oh. They're nasty little critters crawling around, hoarding shiny things for their burrows. Do they bite? Oh yeah. And the females are venomous. Want me to take care of them? You mean kill them? But they're so small and cute. Cromp, cromp. I don't know about that, but they're definitely between us and your bracelet. I don't want you to hurt them. Do you have any other ideas? How about you use your magic? You said you can do magic, right? Anything that can help here? I suppose there's one thing I can try. Nia closes her eyes, drawing her hands to her chest before flaring them out wide. A blinding flash of white light blasts out of her hand, turning night to day for one dazzling second. Whoa! I could have used a warning there. You blink the blindness out of your eyes and find the cromps immobilized by Nia's magic. Cromp? Nice one. Now's my chance. You spring forward, dive into a roll, and grab the bracelet, but a single cromp leaps forward and lashes onto your bicep. Razor-sharp teeth slice through your sleeve and scrape your flesh. Cromp! Ow! Get off of me! You hurl the cromp aside and dash back to Nia as the other cromps scurry after you. Zenolia, are you okay? I'm fine, but those cromps are furious. Run! The two of you sprint through the woods, leaping over the logs and ducking under branches until you're sure you've lost them. Panting, you slump against a tree beside each other. You hold the bracelet out toward Nia. Please tell me this is yours. Ooh. It is. You really got it. She lifts her hand and you gently slip her bracelet onto your wrist. As your fingers brush against her skin, you feel a crackle of energy. Ooh. Was that magic? Just a little. Suddenly Nia reaches for your arm, staring at a small cut on the side of your bicep. You're hurt. It's fine. A male cromp, no poison. I'm sure it's nothing. Don't be ridiculous. Here, let me help you. She hovers her fingertips over the cut, her lips moving soundlessly. The forest grows stiller around you, brighter. A warm breeze whispers through the trees. Sparks of gold dance beneath Nia's fingers. Your skin tingles and slowly the wounds closes up. Amazing! It's like the cut was never there. I've never met someone who can use magic before. Nia beams an excited flush, rising into her cheeks. It's what I've been trained all my life to do. Her smile fades, and she lowers her gaze. It's all I've ever known. using the power of the light to serve the others. That's oppressive. Don't you want to live your life for yourself? Well, that seems awfully selfish, don't you think? If I have the gift that can help others, then I ought to use it. As long as you're happy, I guess that's what really matters. I'll be happy once I've ascended to priestess. Then I can truly go do great works for the kingdom. The two of you stroll back into the campsite. Your eyes start to feel heavy, and you can barely stifle a yawn. Speaking of finishing your tasks, so you can ascend. You're right. We should both get some sleep. Oh, and Zenolia? You can barely hear her through your haze of sleepiness. Nia leans closer, her voice a melody in your ear. Zenolia? Yeah? I'm so glad you joined us. Let's kiss her hand. You raise her hand to your lips and delicately kiss it. She turns away, cheeks burning. Thank you, Nia. Seriously. Nia laughs. Nia's laughter flutters through the campsite. Thank you for accompanying me tonight. I'm not used to anyone's company but Vash's. I really enjoyed myself. I did too. It feels a little weird to say this, but I'm glad you lost your bracelet. But like you said, we should try to get some shut-eye before we hit the road again. So sleep well, princess. Priestess, not princess. Wait. Nia gives you one last smile as she heads. I can't read, guys. She heads for her tent. May the light guard your dreams, Zenolia. Yours too? The next morning, you wake to the sunrise and wander out into the camp. Cade's there, tuning his lute. Ready for a big adventure? I am, although before we go, are you sure you want to head out looking like that? What do you mean? What's wrong with this? It's just a little plain for the great adventurer, Zenolia. Do you have an alternative? Cade grins and nods his head at his heavy bag. I'm always prepared. This is your chance for a new outfit. New looks will impress companions and help you make a great impression. Wait, so this is the one that we started. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, let's choose it. Let's do it. Oh my god, this is wiping out my diamonds. What do you think? Now that's what I'm talking about. Gone are my days of being the best dressed sibling. Nia emerges from her tent, blinking at you, a little flushed. Yes, you look quite remarkable. Soon enough, your party is marching forward toward the ruins. The forest is so beautiful in daylight. The golden sunbeams filtering through the leaves, dew glinting on the underbrush. Oh, is that a deer? Nia nudges you as Nia wanders off to contemplate a flowering bush. She doesn't go out much, does she? He grins at you. The grin that means he's up to something. Oh no, what now? You know what? Admit it. She's cute. She's beautiful. I knew it. You had that look, Zenolia. That goofy love-struck. He holds up both hands in surrender when you step on his toes. Okay, teasing's over. And I'll stay out of your way with the priestess. Gotta respect my elders, huh? You ruffle your brother's hair with a roll of your eyes. Now that's so Wow, that's so generous of you. Oh, I think I see the temple ruins up ahead. As you push through the overgrown temple grounds, you spy the crumbling entrance of the temple of Alara at the end of a stone staircase. But the ruins aren't empty. Are those? Several human bodies litter the mossy steps caked in blood. What? What is... By the light, it's a massacre. And as you stare at the bodies, your heart sinks. Oh, by the gods, is that? Constable Angus and poor Gren. What the hell happened here? What's happened to the Temple of Alara? What dangers await within? Find out the next chat. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna read it. Okay, let's read the second chapter. Just jump right into it. We'll just combine the two videos. It's just gonna be easier that way. So the plan is to record all the chapters. Usually I only record the first two to get a first impression, but the plan for this one is to actually have a whole let's play of it. Role play and all, and of Lost and Legends. It's not going to be just diamonds, because there's only so much I can pay for. But I will try to get most of the diamond scenes, especially the more important ones. You've reached the Temple of Alara, only to find the two townsfolk from your village, Constable Angus and his apprentice Gren, dead on the steps. Gods have mercy! Angus? Gren? Oh no. Nia kneels down beside Angus's body, her eyes glimmering with tears. Her lips move in silent prayer. A faint golden glow surrounds her. A warm breeze rustles the overgrown grass, but then fades away. I can't help them. They're gone, beyond the light's reach. I can't believe this. We saw them alive just last night. With that adventurer Maul, you don't think... Maul didn't do this. I can't know for certain, but I don't think this was his doing. There's nothing in it for him. Neither Angus nor Gren had anything worth stealing. Yeah, I agree. I don't think this was him. But then, where is he? And who did this? Scarlet Vash paces around, shaking his head. This is an affront to the light. Blasphemy.
Whoever is responsible has desecrated a place of worship, a holy place. Zenolia, what do we do? I'm going to call for help, because that's all I can do. Help! Can anyone hear me? Help! But the forest around is still and silent. Damn it, we're really on our own. Let's just hope whoever did this didn't hear you. Do you think this has something to do with the relic? Speak clearly now. What relic? I don't know. It's just something Maul said back in the town. He said he had a tip that there is a powerful relic, ancient relic, and he was going to find it. That it's true. I had hoped it was just a myth, but by the gods above and below, it must be true. I believe there is an ancient artifact hidden deep within this temple, forgotten to time, relegated to legend, an onyx shard. Really? The onyx shards are real? You've heard of them? Cade, what's he talking about? They're the last relics that the Shadow Court left behind after the Great War. Cursed artifacts of power, terrible power, very, very, very bad stuff. I came upon the locations of the shards in an ancient text last year. Seeing these bodies here, I may not be the only one who knows their location. Please, if whoever did this is after the shard, we need to protect it. We can't let it fall into the wrong hands. You share a look with Cade, noting his reluctance, and put a reassuring hand on his shoulder. You look back at Vash. We'll accompany you inside to get this shard. But if we bump into whoever did this, we're all running. Understood? Let's just hope we find it before they do. You lead the way through the main archway onto the temple grounds, and the rubble cloaked in the moss and choked by vines. This place isn't the best shape, is it? Once it was majestic, regal, packed day and night. Have we truly fallen so far from the light? The temple feels lifeless, with no signs of assailants. You see the two pathways ahead. One branching left, the other right. Something feels off. Be careful where you step. Zenolia, what do we do now? Look for traps. You crouch and examine the floor tiles at the mouth of the leftward passage. One tile rises an inch above the rest and gives slightly when you touch it. That's a pressure plate, if I ever saw one. I think this way is booby-trapped. You examine the rightward passage, detecting a faint groove in the floor tiles like centuries of feet have worn at the stone. The right path looks well-traveled. Let's see where it leads. You follow the right path and begin to slope downward, spiraling on itself. Gods, how deep does this thing go? Only the top level of the temple was open to the public. The lower levels, the catacombs, were for the priests and priestesses to study and pray, and to hide away the dark.
Finally, you reach the bottom of the path. Deep below the complex, a stone door stands before you, but it's been cracked. You squeeze through the opening and find yourself in a vast chamber piled wall to wall with ancient treasures. I can't believe this has been here all along. If we'd explored this place ourselves, we could have become rich. He catches Scholar Vash glaring at him. Ridiculously pious adherents of the light? Pious. Vash approaches a pedestal scattered with golden chains and goblets. He plucks a large green crystal the size of a watermelon from the pile. Whoa. Check it out. That is distinctly not onyx. No, but it's not the shard. No, it's not the shard. But it's still quite fascinating. I must bring it back to the White Tower with me for further study. Everyone is distracted looking at the treasure. Even Nia is gawping over a jewel-encrusted old tome. I can't believe it. How was this here all this time, and no one ever robbed it? Maybe no one knew it was here. I mean, we lived a day away, and we had no idea. Yeah, well, it's pretty, but I don't like it one bit. If the people who murdered Angus and Gren weren't after this treasure, then what are they after? The onyx shard. We'd better keep moving. At the far end of the room sits a very heavy wooden door fortified by twisting metal runes. Scholar Vash examines it closely. Ah, yes. Ancient elves often used elaborate mechanisms to lock their secrets away. I've always wanted to solve one. They test your deep knowledge of elven linguistics. That sounds riveting. Seems quite simple. If I just press this and turn this, nothing happens. Ah, well, I may need a moment. While Vash futzes with the panel, Cade coughs, drawing your attention. Psst, Zenolia. While he's busy, what do you say we keep scoping out this treasure chamber? I think there's some hidden rooms down the back. We could go check them out, see what else this place has to offer. Ooh, I would be interested in that. I thought I saw some fascinating statues. This side quest will let you explore the ruins with Nia and Cade, fight a surprising enemy, and collect a valuable relic. Well? Oh, fine. That's what the diamonds are for. That sounds way better than just sitting around here. Let's take a quick look around and see what we can find. While Vash continues tinkering with the door, now rubbing some kind of dry powder over the joints, the three of you head deeper into the vault. So, Nia, why is all this treasure here? These are offerings. Believers used to bring them as tribute to their gods. Like bribes? People paying off the gods to grant them fortune and favor? No, not like that. Their offerings are given voluntarily, with no expectation of reward. They're a reflection of gratitude, of thankfulness. That seems admirable. You think so? Imagine believing in something so much you give up all this wealth for it. Feeling so grateful that you'd offer your treasures just to express thanks. It'd be nice, or so I imagine. Nia turns to you and smiles warmly. It is. Cade looks around, shaking his head. I know rationally I should be way more scared given we're in an ancient temple. And we just found 2 people brutally murdered. But I still can't believe this is happening. We're on an adventure. A real adventure. Imagine what an amazing story this will make. You really love telling stories, don't you, Cade? Well, yeah, stories are really important to me. They're how I see the world. He hesitates for a second, an oddly sentimental expression on his face. I was a really sickly kid, bedridden till I was 6, on the brink of death. Stories were all I had. I read every book in town, and when I ran out of books to read, I started writing them. Cade was a precocious kid. I always thought that it was how I live life. Zenolia was the adventurer, the dreamer. I was happy just to read about things like that. But maybe I misjudged myself. Maybe I can be someone who goes out there, who has adventures, who sees the world. Maybe I could be that hero. A hero. Oh, sorry. Damn right you can, brother. Look, over there, a passage. You follow Nia into a vast hall, lined with ancient marble statues, mostly crumbled. This is a hall of gods. It must be hundreds of years old. You gaze from one statue to another, taking them in. Look at the majestic elven goddess. You walk over to a towering statue of an elven woman, a sword in one hand and an infant in the other. Nia comes to stand beside you. That's one of my favorites. Nefara, the mother, the giver of life, and the creator of laws. She's stern and kind, loving, but forceful. She nurtured the first life into creation. But she'll just as quickly punish those who take it. I like her. Hey, want to see something hilarious? Cade holds up an old ceramic vase with a creepy face painted on the side. But as he tries to copy its expression, it slips through his fingers and shatters. Oops. The shards shake and rattle, and a spectral shape bursts out, lashing through the air and with tendrils of smoky flame. What in the hell is that? Is it? Oh my god. I can't read.
The creature pulses and swells, its hungry bells boring into you. I'll do something. You grab a nearby torch and hurl it at the creature, but it passes through harmlessly. Damn it! Wait a minute. I know what this is. It's a Vorglin. I read about that in the tome of beasts that traveling merchants had. It's a specter that feeds off psychic energy, specifically fear. So, what if we feel other strong emotions? Could that drive it away? Actually, yes. That must work. That might work. That just might work. Think about something other than fear. Quick. Think of a time when you felt something really intense. Shh. Grimacing, you turn to the Vorglin. Think of my happiest memory. Close your eyes and remember a day a year ago. One perfect day. Cade and I had a great time at the Riverbend Fair. I impressed the blacksmith and won a prize. The whole town cheered for us, and I felt so loved and safe. Vorglin pulses gorging on your emotions and lets out a satisfied wheeze. Something falls off his body, landing with a hard thud. The Vorglin wavers, then fades away, vanishing into thin air. You cautiously approach what fell out of the Vorglin and nudge it with your toes. Check it out. It's an orb. This is solid gold. Then we're lucky. When a Vorglin is fed emotions it doesn't enjoy, it transforms into an elemental discharge. It's usually iron or brass, but gold? Jackpot! Are you saying that the orb is the creature's waste? It literally crafts gold. You all share a laugh as Cade picks up the orb and tucks it into his bag. Are you alright with this, with us keeping this priestess? It's not an offering, and it might be worth quite a bit. I suppose. Now then, we should probably get back before Scholar Vash realizes we're gone. 3 of you head back to Vash, just as he traces the final rune, and the door opens with a whoosh. There we go. A piece of cake, as they say. Nothing to it. He looks back at you. Thank you for waiting patiently. I hope it wasn't a bother. And 3 of you glance at each other. Not at all. Vash gestures ahead, and you walk toward the door. Wait, does anyone else hear voices? You motion for the others to be quiet as you lead them into the next chamber. What is that? A glowing metal box hovers above a pedestal in the chamber center. Segments of the box expand, rotate, and shift back in like a puzzle working itself out. The air around it shifts and warps with a low hum. The arcane energy field is still intact. Good. The ancient protection holds. A group of burly men in rough leather armor enter from the far end of the chamber. Battered iron swords hanging at their sides. Your group quickly ducks into the shadows behind several crumbling columns. Cade whispers frankly to you. Look at their swords. Is that blood? I think we found our killers. The thugs approached the metallic box, but none of them seemed to want to get too close, until a familiar face steps forward, motioning toward the box. There it is, see? I told you. Now, could you stop pointing that sword at me, my back? It's Ma. That's the adventurer you met? What is she doing with those men? I think he's their prisoner. The thug's leader raises his blade and levels it at Mal's neck. That's not the deal. Work faster, thief, if you value your life. The attackers must have kept him alive because he knows how to open the box. Nia's eyes widen in horror. That poor man, Zenolia, we have to help him. We will, once we get an opening. We need to figure out what they're up to first. With a sigh, Mal approaches the box, squinting at it as it cycles through its shifting rotations. The thug presses his sword to Mal's back, making him wince. I said hurry up, scum! Open the chest already! Don't get your small clues in a bunch, friend. I'm opening a 2,000-year-old relic. Not picking pockets in a bazaar. I know it's hard to believe, but even Mal the Magnificent finds himself challenged every once in a while. Mal the Magnificent? Look, I'm workshopping it. Can't commit to a moniker too quickly. You will hurry. The walls tremble, spilling dust as a hideous voice booms through the chamber. Shadows swirl and wait, what? And coalesce behind Mal. Coalesce? I don't know what that word is. But solidifying into a towering being made of shadow and metal. Ooh. He sweeps forward, towering over the band of mercenaries. A giant blade strapped to his back crackles with a dark energy. Light, save us. Next to you, Cade goes deathly pale, his hands trembling. It's Duke Earthax, a Duke of the Shadow Court. He's real. He's actually real. You told me stories about him, but didn't he die thousands of years ago? I'm telling you, Zenolia, it's him. We need to go. Now. The legends are a warning we should heed. What did the legends say about Duke Earthax again? He's one of the corrupted elves who served the Dreadlord. Mal wriggles his fingers, waiting. Then, as two gears click into place on the chest, he swoops in and spins a dial. Getting closer now. Earthax speaks, his voice deep and haunting, his dust blowing out of a tomb. Do not set off the trap, thief. I wasn't exactly planning to. And scowls, continues tinkering with the chest, a strand of hair falling over his eyes. He pushes it away and locks eyes with you. I guess we're winking at him. Mal smirks to himself and winks back at you. I'm sure you know what you're doing. The arcade field is fading. Mal locks one last gear into place, and the force field shimmers away. The chest lid glides open, bathing the chamber in an eerie teal glow. Now what do we have here? He reaches inside the cloth-wrapped hand and carefully lifts out a rough black gemstone. Shadows swirl within its heart, making your stomach churn. Whoa. There it is. At last. Give it to me. Sure thing, but first, I thought you might like this. He slams his fist into a button on the side of the chest. Arrows shoot from the walls, skewering the thugs holding him captive. Ah! As the thugs fall, Mal charges toward your hiding place, still clutching the gem. Go, kid, go, go, go! Fool! Duke Earthax fires a bolt of darkness your way. The shadowy blast clips a nearby column, sending stones flying. Mal dives, narrowly avoiding them. Oof! The shard flies from his hand and skids across the temple, coming to rest right in front of Cade. You're not getting your hands on the shard today, Earthax. Wait, don't touch it with your bare hand. But it's too late. Cade lunges for the stone. As his fingers close around it, the onyx shard pulses with violent energy. The air warps, stretching, writhing with shadows that warp around Cade. Zenolia, help me. Oh my god. And then he's sucked into the void. The onyx shard clatters back to the ground with Cade trapped inside. Cade! The shard has taken him. He's in this realm of shadows now. There's nothing we can do for him. I'm not leaving him. Thinking quick, you tear off a scrap of your shirt off and wrap up the shard, making sure you avoid touching it with your bare hands. It feels hot and cold at the same time, pulsing with a strange energy, but the cloth keeps you safe. Good thinking. Now, run! Enough! Shadows spiral from Earthax's palms, knitting themselves into a pair of snarling shadow hounds. Oh, come on! He can do that? Nia grabs your hand and pulls you forward. We can't stay here, Zenolia. We have to go. You race through the treasure room with Nia and the scholar Vash, Maul following close behind. Rrrr. It's no use. The hounds are gaining on us. Up ahead you see a low-hanging beam blocking your path. Slide under it. You duck low, sliding clean under the beam. Quick thinking. He slides after you, followed by the others. You rush out into the temple courtyard, but a hound leaps down from a crumbling pedestal, teeth bared in a snarl. Urgh. Beast of darkness, by the power of the Sandra, I banish you. Bracelet on Nia's wrist glows. Dazzling light blasts out of her hand, spearing through the hound. Arr! It writhes and howls before bursting apart into a cloud of black fog. Nice one, Nia. I had the lights help. Oh my god, I did not mean to do that. You sprint across the stone, but as you round a corner, a hound pounces on Vash and pins him to the ground with its vicious claws. Help, please! Scholar! How distracted? Over here, you dumb mutt! The hound backs off of Vash and turns toward you, crouching as it prepares to strike. Grrr! I regret this already. The hound leaps forward, teeth bared. I don't think so, dog breath. Mal lands a kick square in the beast's ribs. It crashes into the wall with a miserable howl, dissolves back into shadow. What were you thinking, Kit? I'm not a kit. And stop acting like one. Come on, let's go. Vash staggers up, weak on his feet, his left leg torn and bloody. Oh. We'll have to carry him. Mal, give me a hand. Mal looking at you at Vash, and then at the exit, clearly thinking of just running. Mal, help! He meets your gaze with an exasperated sigh. I'm going to regret this. Mal rushes over to you, and you drape one of Vash's arms over each of your shoulders. Nia, we must get you to safety. Don't worry about me, Scholar. Let me tend to your wounds. But before she can finish, a jagged black lance bursts out through Vash's side. Ah! No! Duke Earthax looms out to the darkness, dragging another lance against the stone. Sparks fly off the metal. Mortals, you cannot escape the Shadow Court's judgment. Keep running, go! Mal shifts Vash's weight onto you and draws a dagger, twirling at it as it turns toward the Duke. What are you doing? You asked for help, yeah? So here I am, saving our lives. Every good treasure hunter knows how to dodge traps, but you can't know how to dodge them without knowing how to set them off first. He hurls a dagger. It blurs through the air before embedding itself into the stone archway above Duke Earthax's head. Boom! The temple rumbles, and the floor shakes beneath you. The archway and the entire ceiling collapses right on top of Duke Earthax. No! Get those legs moving, people. We're officially blowing this joint. You flee deep into the forest, taking a circuitous route away from the main road to cover your tracks. As night descends, you stake out a safe clearing near a stream. Alright, I think we lost them. For now. Ugh. You and Mal ease Scholar Vash to the ground and prop his head up with a bedroll. He's breathing hard, his skin clammy and pale from blood loss.
Please, Scholar, let me treat you.
Save your energy, priestess. These are no normal wounds. The rot of darkness has infected me.
No, you'll be fine. You just need your wounds cleaned and a proper night's rest.
As the adrenaline wears off, reality hits you in a devastating rush. You sag against a tree, grief threatening to overwhelm you.
Cade.
Cade's gone. He's really gone. Trapped in the damned onyx shard. Ooh. As you blink away tears, Mel starts to back away. Alright then. Seems like everyone could use some space. I'll just set up camp and... Not so fast, Mal the Magnificent. Mal groans. I was improvising, okay? Trying to solve for time. Please tell me that's not going to stick. Forget the nickname. You better start explaining what's going on here fast. I don't like your tone, Kit. This Kit just saved your life. What, back there? Please, I had it handled. Look, just tell me what happened to my brother. Where is he? How do I get him back? How in the three hell should I know? Because you sure seem to know a lot about the shard back at the temple. I'm a treasure hunter. That means I know where to find treasure, and I know you sure as hell don't touch magical relics with your bare hands. What it is, or what anyone wants with it, I don't get paid enough for that. If you say so. We are not going anywhere until we find out what happened to my brother. And how exactly do you plan on doing that? I think we should take the shard to White Tower with Nia and Scholar of Ash. Surely someone there will know what to do. White Tower? No way, Kit. I recover the shard at great personal risk. That means it's mine now, to do with as I please. I please to sell it to the highest bidder and put this whole mess behind me, preferably somewhere warm and with good drinks. Plead with him. It's not just some artifact. That shard's the key to getting my brother back. If you sell it off, he'll be trapped in the realm of shadow forever. Mal rubs the back of his neck, not meeting your eyes. Maybe it's nice there. It's the realm of shadow, asshole. Can you really sip your drink on a beach knowing my brother's trapped because of you? Actually, never mind. I already know the answer. Mal clenches his jaw with a groan. Fine. I'll think about it, alright? Just stop giving me those sad eyes, alright? Creeps me out. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get us food. By yourself? Yeah. I saw some good-looking berries on the way here. Figure I can get something to eat. Get us something to eat. I could go with him. It might be a good way to learn more about who he really is. Yeah, I could, but I don't really want to. I want to save my diamonds. Nah, I'll get some rest. It's been a rough day, and we've got a long journey ahead. I'm calling it a night. Suit yourself. More fruit for me. You unpack your bedroll at the edge of the clearing, giving Nia and Vash some space. Cade's expression haunts you as you toss and turn. I'm sorry, Cade. You must be terrified wherever you are now. Finally, sleep claims you, but it's filled with dark dreams of writhing shadows and baying hounds. The next morning, you awaken first at sunrise. Mal rests against a distant tree, keeping watch, while Nia and Vash rest again gently on their bed rolls. Poor Vash. You stretch out, and that's when you notice something lying half concealed in the brush. A small old tablet. Something about it calls to you. Promises of an ancient mystery unraveled, perhaps. Huh. Looks like this is all about orcs, elves, and humans. Lots of interesting lore. This is a lore tablet. Collect them to learn more about the world, its inhabitants, and the history of the Great War. You'll also get bonus XP for every tablet you collect. And if you get all 6 tablets, you'll unlock a bonus scene. Oh, it's one of these. You know what? Fine. We'll collect it. Wait, what? Oh. Diplomacy, survival skill, combat. Let's do something with diplomacy. Deception, charisma. Let's get charisma. Okay. You pick up the tablet, turning it over in your hands. Let's read about... Oh my god, we actually have to read... Let's read about humans. Human culture? Humans in Morella are organized in traditional monarchy. The seat of power is with the king in the capital city. He carries out his will through 24 local lords. Even with the one kingdom, human culture is divided into many subcultures and groups, from the decadent nobles of White Tower to the seafaring rogues of Parnassus. If there's one consistent train to humanity, it might be with their inconsistency. I don't know if I actually want to read all of this, guys. Let's read about the elves, since that's what we are. Let's do elf characteristics. Elves are taller than humans, standing on an average of just over 6 feet. Elves also possess incredible senses, capable of seeing the tiniest drop of dew on a blade of grass, or hearing a whisper 2 rooms away. Elves are also long-lived. An average elf lives to 300 years old. They reach maturity at about 50, and then maintain that appearance until their oldest years. All elves possess some degree of magical affinity. From an early age, elven children are sorted into magical schools, which train their talents from green naturalists to purple illusionists to black battle mages. Elf culture. After the Great War, there are only 500 or so elves left alive. Outside of a handful of exiles and outcasts, they all live in the city of Undermount in the north. An incredibly complex hierarchy exists among all the elven houses, with an ever-shifting ladder of rank and wealth. Social competition is a cornerstone of elven society, and many elves spend their whole lives trying to advance the standing of their house. I am not reading all of this, guys. Let's see what the others are. Orcs, elves, and humans are the primary sentient species on Morella, but there are a few others of note. The amphibious Grobtars live in the ocean depths. Little is known of their culture, save unreliable accounts from the captured sailors, but they are feared for their vicious, merciless attacks on traveling ships. The vampire live in the crypts of the ruined city of Necropolis. Some believe the blood-sucking immortals to be cursed elves. Others think they're not living at all, but ghosts made flesh. Given that no traveler has ever made it out of their city alive, perhaps we'll never know. There are many others as well, with the mermen of Shimmering Isles, the mole people of the Red Desert, the legendary birdmen of the north. Some even believe the Drachna, horrifying as they are sentient and have a secret society in the Deadwood. Okay, I don't care. There's so much. When you're done, you tuck the tablet in your bag. That just as Scholar Vash stirs awake. So we have a lore tablet now. That I did not mean to move on so quickly, but okay. Scholar Vash, you're awake. Did the deep draught help? What? Oh, sleeping draught. Oh. You did your best, dear priest. But I'm afraid I don't have long. He raises his shirt, and you can see that all of his veins are running black, a spiderweb of inky darkness. No. The dark days have returned, and you must save your strength. The Shadow Court seek to return to our realm, to enslave and conquer once more. As Vash talks to you, you find yourself drifting off, almost seeing what he's describing. 2,000 years ago, the elves were a thriving people, spreading peace and alignment across the realms. Their magic was unmatched, fueling all of the civilization. But a cabal of rogue elves became greedy. They turned away from King Zeus and is seeking to live forever. And in their pursuit of immortality, tapped into another dimension, a world of pain and darkness, the realm of shadow. When King Zeus learned what they had done, a civil war ensued, devastating the elven kingdom. Hundreds of thousands were killed. They must be stopped, else their darkness will consume us all. The rogue elves were banished at a great cost to the realm of shadow. There they became known as the Shadow Court. Trapped and furious, they have waited for millennia to make their return. The Church of Light was founded to keep them at bay. We were entrusted with their cursed artifacts, guarding them at our sacred temples. But as the centuries have rolled on, the old war has been forgotten, relegated to myth and legend. The church itself has faded as its temples have crumbled. Yet the shards remain, their power growing as the light wanes, reaching out to vulnerable minds, corrupting them, enticing them, and bringing us closer and closer to the age of darkness. Tell us how we can stop this. If you collect all the shards, you can take them to the Temple of Light for a purification ritual. That will burn away the darkness energy stored within them and render them useless to the Shadow Court. In addition to the shard you have, there is one in the Temple of Light in White Tower with the High Priest. The other two shards have been lost. One was last seen within the library of Port Parnassus. The other resides with the remaining elves, deep in the heart of Undermount. Tell us about the Shadow Court. They're a band of 25 rogue elves who defied the natural order in search of greater power. Duke Earthax is but one of them, a brutish warrior of great prowess. If he's found a way to manifest in our realm, more may soon follow. And none worse than their leader, the Dreadlord. Tell us about the Onyx Shards. The Onyx Shards are 4 powerful relics from the Great War. They have been infused with terrible dark energy capable of corrupting minds and unleashing devastating power. I fear the Shadow Court is using them as conduits to corrupt mortals into serving them and to gain entry to the mortal realm. And what about my brother? Is there any way to bring him back? I do not know, child. If anyone knows of a way, it would be the High Priest at the Temple of Light. There are ways to bring someone back from the realm of shadow, but only if they have resisted the pull of the darkness. Your brother must... Vash lapses into a coughing fit, blood splattering down his front. Cade must what? The cough subsides. Vash sinks back into his bedroll. His voice rasps out, barely more than a whisper. You lean down over him, and he reaches up, grasping your hand. Purify the shards. Stop the court. Keep Nia safe. His eyes close. With one sigh, his hands go slack in Nia's. Tears roll down her face. Scarlet Vash, no. Please. You can't. You can't leave me. You should comfort her. You gently lay your hand on her shoulder and offer a soothing squeeze. Nia, I'm so sorry. Nia pulls away from Vash and buries her face against your shoulder. I knew him better than I knew my own parents. He taught me everything. You pat her back, letting her sob. Then you're a living testament to him. His soul, his teachings, they live on with you.
And every day you honor his memory by carrying on his work. Nia manages a weak smile that trembles at the corners. You're right. That's a beautiful way to think of it. But it still hurts. She wipes away from her tears and looks at you and Maul with a look with a new fire burning in her eyes. We have to complete Fascist's mission. With the rest of the Onyx shards, we can stop the Shadow Court and ensure they never harm anyone else. Mal, Zenolia, will you join me? No way, Princess. Priestess, getting you used to safety was my good deed for the year. This is your quest, not mine. There's nothing in it for me. Well, if an existential threat to the entire realm isn't enough to convince you, I'm sure the temple's coffers can. Now you're speaking my language. I've seen the Temple of Light in White Tower. Those coffers run deep. I can promise you a sizable fortune in exchange for your service. Not to mention the glory of defeating the Shadow Court. Shadow Realm. Just think of your reputation. Alright, fine, I'll help for now. So Mao is joining us. Interesting. And Zenolia? You don't have to ask. We're going to see this through. It's my fault Cade is trapped in the realm of shadow. I'll do anything to get him out. And we're done. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a really long thing. And yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. And see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. It's been a blast.